In today's news, XRP is the $27 trillion solution. Ripple have over 500 partnerships, and many of these partnerships are large financial institutions and the big banks because they need XRP to help them free up all of their trapped liquidity. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse confirmed in this video the bank's excitement for XRP. Pay close attention.
For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction in about 3 seconds. The vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks to make those settlements. So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
See, that is the most important aspect of what Brad Garlinghouse just stated, is democratization, because you may be asking and thinking, well, why doesn't the big banks themselves, why couldn't they just issue their own digital asset and use that instead? Well, they could, and they have, but it wouldn't work the same way. Again, listen closely to the explanation from Brad Garlinghouse.
5 years from now, are you able to exist in a world where the JPM coin exists and other banks have their own forms of cryptocurrencies?
Look, the JPM coin, I think, actually, in many ways, has been great for the industry because, someone who not that long ago was saying Bitcoin's a fraud is now leaning in, and it was a macro good thing for the industry and bringing credibility. I'll give it a thumbs up. The JPM coin, though, if you really think about it, and there's a lot of banks represented in this room, is Wells Fargo going to use the JPM coin? Probably not. Is B of A going to use the JPM coin? Probably not. And so are we all going to have a Wells Fargo coin and a B of A coin? And now what about the interoperability between these coins? The other thing that makes no sense to me, in order to get a JPM coin, you deposit $1 in a JPM account. So it's one-to-one backed in dollars, and you can only use it intra JPM's ledger. Why didn't I just use $1? I actually don't understand what problem that was solving.
Now, to steal the words of Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen, decentralized digital currencies such as XRP are not issued or controlled by any government or central authority. XRP becomes therefore the perfect intermediary, unbiased intermediary between nations worldwide, because therefore no one will have to worry about the economic or potentially even political power a country would gain for becoming the next world reserve currency. Think about what's happened to the dollar and the United States when the dollar is now crashing. Nobody's going to want another country to have that much control again. And this is why XRP will take its place and why XRP can't remain dirt cheap, because everybody understands this and everybody wants it. As we can see in this post from Smoke, banks and financial institutions are now CBDC ready. Let's take a listen.
It's when we start to look on the aggregate that things start to get interesting, because despite conservative public stances, global financial leaders have already built digital product offerings to enable digital money, commodities, and assets at large scale. So among the 50 top financial institutions globally, more than 50% already support the use of some form of digital wallets, custody, and/or trading, and more than 40% support digital monies like central bank digital currencies or stablecoins. And the real underlying story behind this chart is that despite what you may have read, the most important financial institutions in the world made good use of the 2022 and 2023 crisis in crypto and blockchain to catch up and position themselves for digital finance.
XRP is going to act as a bridge currency for CBDCs worldwide, and with Ripple's recent announcement of a stablecoin on the XRP ledger, one that is going to be 100% backed by US dollar deposits, US government bonds and cash, this is going to bring further liquidity to the XRP ledger and therefore in time will increase the price of XRP. So with this knowledge, why is XRP still only at 50 cents, you ask? 3 reasons. The first is that XRP is a utility token, one that is going to help fix a multi-trillion-dollar problem, from $27 trillion of trapped liquidity in the banks to a $250 trillion cross-border payments market. But XRP isn't being utilized for this just yet, at least not on this sort of scale, but it will. However, beforehand, what we need to see, and the second reason is also the regulations. And Ripple have been preaching for years now the importance of regulations for crypto assets. And in 2 months' time, the end of Q2, June 30th, 2024, MiCA will be enforcing regulations in EU, and furthermore regulations are already in development in America as well, as confirmed from Congressman Willie Nickel.
We've heard this morning from Senator Gillibrand that we're likely to see a Senate version of a stablecoin bill introduced, and we heard a little bit about McHenry saying that as sort of a foundation. I know there was the market structure bill, but also what are your thoughts on stablecoin legislation, how you think that could help with the space?
Yeah, no, I mean, really close. We are really close again. So, really close. I think we're going to get it done in a bipartisan way. Maxine Waters at one point said, recently, very, very close. That's a great sign.
But that is not all, because also now the United Kingdom will issue new legislation for stablecoins as well as crypto staking exchange and custody by June or July 2024, the same time pretty much as MiCA. It seems like the whole world is planning right now for regulation to go in place for crypto and stablecoins around Q2, which again is huge news for Ripple and XRP, as well as they just issued their own stablecoin. But now for the final reason, which of course is the lawsuit, which will remain an issue for Ripple until they finally get that stamp of clarity that they are the only digital asset in the United States with any regulatory clarity. And Gary Gensler will still be waging a war on the rest of crypto, but XRP will be the only one in the clear. That is worth so much more than people are giving it credit for. And the verdict is due to happen at some point in the middle of this Q2, potentially in May. And should that happen, they get clarity and then stablecoin regulations come out, think of the snowball effect this will have on XRP, how high it will soar. With clarity as well, we will see XRP ETFs, and think of what happened to Bitcoin with the ETF introduced. Speaking of which, there are now huge Bitcoin ETF ads and billboards in Hong Kong right now, as they've just approved and received their first spot Bitcoin ETF application, which again is massive news. This is proof we haven't seen anything yet, and as we can see in this post from the Black Swan Capitalist, most people are part of what is known as the Ninja Generation. No income, no job, and no assets. That's why it's crucial to take action and invest in hard assets and the technologies helping to shape the future. Blockchain, XRP, now is your chance to beat the 1% at their own game. Listen closely.
I can promise people that are listening to this, we haven't seen anything yet. And I mean anything. This is just the opening act of this whole entire thing crumbling apart piece by piece. And if people aren't ready from every standpoint and perspective for what's about to come, and most people are not, I mean most, 95% of them have no clue as to where this is going. They don't even know who their enemy is. Again, they're being told this, that, and the other thing, distracted by this, deceived by that. If they really knew who their real enemy was, and that, in my view, is, again, the central banks of the world who are working together here to destroy the global economy, to bring the consumer to their knees, only to issue in a new system for which they're going to make us beg. They're going to make us beg for it. People have no idea. None, but that's where we're going, and there is no doubt about it.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.